The Iraqi security forces continue making progress in clearing territory in the dense urban terrain of Mosul, despite ISIS resistance and brutal control measures against the civilians who remain in the city. And what we're talking about here is use of human shields. They have used chemical weapons. They have donned Iraqi security forces uniforms and tricked some of the local residents into welcoming them, or if they react positively, they then either take those people prisoner or execute them on site. These are the types of things that this enemy is doing, and it makes it a horrific experience to be a resident of Mosul. Yesterday and the day before, the Iraqi Counterterrorism Service conducted clearing operations in the Al-Tanak neighborhood, which is one of Mosul's largest. The neighborhood was an important enemy node for command and control, and was also a location where the enemy stored a lot of their weapons and a lot of their resources. Unfortunately, despite the progress that's being made, we're still seeing new reports of ISIS actions to take control of the enemy, or the civilians in the city. As many of you know, the enemy has a very robust propaganda enterprise, although there's been some pretty substantial gains in reducing that. One of the things that we've observed recently is that they have the ability to use their Al-Bayan radio network to broadcast to their fighters and to the people of Mosul, despite the fact that the Iraqi security forces have made progress in overrunning and dismantling many of these sites. This is a capability that they can move, and they continue to broadcast into both East and West Mosul. And certainly the messages, the hateful messages that they continue to broadcast, to the people in the city, is very disconcerting. But it's only a matter of time since the enemy is completely surrounded in the city, and the Iraqi security forces continue to advance until that Al-Bayan network is silenced in Mosul forever. As you've seen, the strikes that the Turkish Air Force conducted the night before last also killed several Kurdish Peshmerga fighters in the vicinity of Sinjar. The initial reports were that 5 were killed. That has gone up, unfortunately, to 7 as some of the Peshmerga expired from their wounds following those strikes. We've seen a lot of reports of the number of PKK fighters who were killed in those strikes. We've not seen any evidence to support those claims. All we've seen is the unfortunate effect on our partner forces who have been integral in defeating ISIS. We're troubled by that. We call on all forces to remain focused on the fight to defeat ISIS, which is the greatest threat to regional and worldwide peace and security. The coalition continues using precision strikes in Mosul and other areas around Iraq, including several strikes yesterday to remove ISIS fighters, fighting positions, snipers, weapons caches, and vehicle-borne improvised explosive devices and other targets from the battlefield anywhere that they can be found and struck with precision. And that is a fundamental principle of our campaign in Mosul and around Iraq.